Hello there. Um, as I was studying some statistics, um, a lot of thoughts came into my head about hypnosis and about considerations that other colleagues of mine do about hypnosis and different kinds of hypnosis. Um, a lot of colleagues defined various types of hypnosis, and that puzzles me, or should I say, intrigues me nowadays, because my perspective about hypnosis changed along the years. I started hypnosis with a well-based foundation on clinical and the experimental side. That was my first training into hypnosis, and the things that I learned about evidence-based and good practices that nowadays I still apply very much to hypnosis. I learned probably 10 years ago, and that side of hypnosis is more scientific, more evidence-based, more research-based. So it combines a lot of the social cognitive theories on hypnosis, the non-state side of hypnosis. As I progressed into my understanding of hypnosis, I started my training into the Ericksonian approaches to hypnosis and psychotherapy. And as you all know, at least everyone that is familiar with hypnosis and the Ericksonian approach, the Ericksonian view of hypnosis differs significantly from the clinical and experimental side of hypnosis. The Ericksonian approach is one of the approaches that views hypnosis as a kind of altered state of consciousness. For example, a lot of Ericksonians still utilize the word and the concept of trance. Milton Erickson described hypnosis, or one of his descriptions was the everyday trance. And so the Ericksonian approach is one of the theories or perspectives on hypnosis that inserts herself into the state theories. Obviously, as a clinical psychologist, as a psychotherapist, and now a future PhD research psychologist or whatever, I realized that a lot of concepts that the Ericksonian approach utilizes, such as trance, I don't use them, or I don't feel very comfortable on utilizing them, because research hasn't shown definitely that trance exists. Not that trance doesn't exist. Research hasn't proved that either. So it could be on each side. Some say that exists, some say that it doesn't exist. Nowadays, research hasn't proven beyond a shadow of the doubt that trance exists, as much as altered states of consciousness. What research has shown us is that certain areas lighten up or utilize certain parts of the brain which you can associate with certain types of suggestion. It's neurological or neuroscientific research, and you can see clearly by PET scans, by magnetic resonance, by imagology approaches to view the brain. So you can clearly see what areas of the brain that activates when a certain kind of suggestion is applied. However, what research shows us as well is that you don't need to induce hypnosis to provide changes, because the mere suggestion already provides a neurological shift. What hypnosis does is intensify that shift and the cerebral activities. That's why non-state theories, social cognitive theories, claimed that suggestion can be as efficient or as reliable as hypnosis. What hypnosis does is to strengthen, give more strength, I'm sorry, dyslexic. Give more emphasis to the suggestion. Clearly, it gives it more power. However, what I'm saying is that all theories, all perspectives have positives and limitations, obviously. And more than that, I came to realize that all hypnosis is hypnosis. What happened to hypnosis historically was the same thing that happened with psychotherapy. If you research into psychotherapy history, you will realize that a lot of models came into existence by discarding a certain perspective as a form of improving the limitations of a certain model, as for example, some author that didn't agree with other. And if you go into the history of psychotherapy, that's how CBT or cognitive therapy came into existence. Behavioral therapy came into existence. The humanistic side of the existential therapies came into existence, and even into psychoanalysis and psychodynamic psychotherapy, a lot of different models came by not agreeing with all of Freud's perspectives. So it's evolution, but all of the models begun or they came by the same premise, by the all the initial step. The source was an only source. It derived from the first model. And if you now turn your attention to the history of hypnosis, the same thing happened. Hypnosis is not a psychotherapy model. However, a lot of theories of hypnosis came to justify limitations or not agreeing with other perspectives. It started with Braid, it evolved into Bernheim and Libidinot. It was contrasted by the views of Charcot, and it evolved into other things, and we came to Milton Erickson. The perspectives that Erickson had on hypnosis. And even Erickson started his formal training or his formal perspective on hypnosis with Clark Hall, researching and analyzing the work that Hall and other colleagues did with hypnosis, a very clinical and experimental side of hypnosis. In his early days, Erickson utilized a lot of clinical and experimental styles of hypnosis. A lot of movements, a lot of techniques that he utilized were very direct, authoritarian, very much clinical and experimental techniques of hypnosis. Erickson then evolved his style, his way of thinking and conceptualizing hypnosis into something that suited him and what he was more comfortable in doing and believing. If you compare what clinical and experimental hypnosis is and what Ericksonian hypnosis is, you will realize that they have a lot of similarities. They both understand hypnosis as a process, as an approach. They both talked about hypnotic phenomena. What is an hypnotic phenomena in the clinical and experimental side of hypnosis is the same phenomena on the Ericksonian approach. So they all are the same. The way that hypnosis is induced or achieved into both perspectives, they have a lot of similarities. They both rely on relationship. They both rely on giving suggestions. It doesn't matter if they are direct, indirect, post-hypnotic or something. They are suggestions nevertheless. They both rely on hypnotic language patterns and non-behavioral non-behavioral non-verbal behavior. That's the word that I was searching. They both rely on those kind of modalities. They both utilize hypnotic phenomena and suggestion to intervene into a certain clinical issue. They both understand what hypnosis can generate, change, and the goal to utilize clinical hypnosis and the Ericksonian approach to hypnosis is to create the possibility of change. Obviously, there are some differences. Obviously, there are differences in thinking, in theorizing what hypnosis is. However, they do agree that hypnosis is hypnosis, and it's the same thing. Hypnosis is hypnosis. There aren't really a lot of hypnosis. There aren't. Hypnosis is hypnosis. What differs is the theoretical conceptualization that you as the therapist believes, and obviously all the expectancies and all the myths and all the beliefs that the client or the patient has about hypnosis. But in reality, when you are in a clinical setting and when you utilize hypnosis into your approach in your therapy model, you are doing hypnosis. Even if you are an Ericksonian, even if you are a clinical or experimental research therapist, whatever, all of you are doing hypnosis, are doing the same thing. All of you are utilizing the therapeutic alliance to achieve a specific process. All of you are utilizing suggestions to provide changes in thoughts, in emotions, in behaviors. All of you are utilizing hypnotic phenomena to establish change. All of you are setting specific goals into your intervention, goals that you can adjust your hypnotic approach. So, in reality, you are doing the same thing, just in a different manner. I will finish this improv video by saying that obviously the clinical side of hypnosis is more suitable to do some research or experimental work on hypnosis, and the Ericksonian approach is not very suitable for research based. However, there are a couple of people that are very interested into adapting the Ericksonian approach to more scientific research and scrutiny, which I think that it's a great idea. The Ericksonian approach can be very useful in clinical settings, especially when you have to adapt yourself to the characteristics of the client, the patient. So what I'm saying, if I am saying something, is that hypnosis, the phenomena, the process, the hypnotic phenomena, all the observable characteristics of hypnosis, the behaviors, they are all the same. Regardless if you are in the clinical and experimental side or the Ericksonian side, they are the same. The only difference is that you can believe in a specific explanation. If you believe that hypnosis is all about expectancies, suggestions, social variables, or if you believe that hypnosis is some kind of altered state of consciousness and is a tool to access the unconscious, whichever definition of unconscious is more suitable for you, the psychoanalytical definition or what Erickson believed that the unconscious was. But really, it's only a matter of what you are more comfortable in believing or utilizing. In the technical aspect, you all are doing hypnosis. That's my way of thinking and my position, my actual position nowadays. And I think it's more rich, it's a more richer position because it allows me to constantly evolve my way of thinking and my style of doing hypnosis. And certainly I'm not falling into the old trap of Hypnosis Wars. It's something that I came up in just now. I'm doing a parallel into the therapy wars. So it's a more suitable position. I'm in the middle. I'm integrating what the clinical and research side has as positives and what the Ericksonian approach brings into the table. So I'm combining the two for a more suitable practice and helping the client wherever they need. So thank you for listening to my improv video. Now I'm going to return to my study. Have a nice day.